Hello and welcome to lesson 12-8. This lesson is titled Solve Word Problems Using Measurement Conversions. So we're going to use all of the different kinds of measurement conversions that we've learned about and apply what we learned to solve different word problems that ask us to move between those different kinds of units. Let's go ahead and watch our short video lesson. And as always, then we can jump into our notes and our guided practice.
How can you convert units of measurement to solve a problem? Think about this question during the lesson. A city pool is in the shape of a rectangle with the dimensions shown. What is the perimeter of the pool? What is meant by the perimeter of the pool?
All right, now when we're talking about perimeter, we're talking about the distance around a shape. So pretend you're walking all the way around this pool. How many yards or feet will it take you to make it all the way around back to your starting point?
The perimeter is the distance around the pool. What do you know? What are you asked to find? You know the dimensions of the pool. You are asked to find the perimeter of the pool.
You can convert one of the measures so that you are adding like units.
You can use feet for perimeter. Convert 25 yards to feet so you can add like units. What is the length of the pool in feet?
Select your answer.
Now remember, when we're moving from yards to feet, there's 3 feet in 1 yard. And since yards are bigger than feet, we're going to multiply to move from yards into the smaller unit of feet. So 25 yards times 3 feet in each yard will give us 75 feet.
To change from larger units to smaller units, multiply. So, 25 yards equals 75 feet. Substitute like measurements into the perimeter formula. The perimeter of the pool is 270 feet. What would the perimeter have been if you had used yards? How does this compare to 270 feet?
Now, if we're going to measure it in feet instead of yards, or sorry, in yards instead of feet, what we're going to do is we're not going to change the 25 yards. This time we're going to change the 60 feet. Now, when we're going from a small unit to a bigger one, we're going to divide because remember, a lot more of those small units fit inside one bigger unit. Now, we know that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So I'm going to take that 60 and I'm going to divide it by 3. Now I can do my basic fact of 6 divided by 3 and just add that 0 back onto my answer. But I know that 60 divided by 3 is going to be 20. So I'm going to have 20 feet, or sorry, 20 yards by 25 yards. So my perimeter formula is going to be 2 times 20 plus 2 times 25. So that's going to be 40 plus 50, which is going to give me 90 yards. Now the number is smaller, but that's because the unit I'm using is a larger unit of measurement.
The perimeter would have been 90 yards. It is the same because 90 times 3 equals 270. Now you know how you can convert units of measurement to solve a problem.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into our notes. So 12-8, solving word problems using measurement conversions. How can you convert units of measurement to solve a word problem? Now, use the unit conversions that we've learned so far in the previous lessons. You can hop back into your notes to see all of those measurement conversions. Let's take a look at our first example. It says Isaac buys milk to make milkshakes for his friends. He buys 1 quart of milk and 1/2 gallon of milk. How many cups of milk does he buy? So I need to stop and think what I know about these units. So I know that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So a half a gallon is going to be 4 divided by 2, which is 2 quarts. I know 1 quart is equal to 2 pints, and 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. So 1 quart is going to be 2 pints or 4 cups. So now I can solve. If he has 1 quart, that's equal to 2 pints, and 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. So his 1 quart has 4 cups in it. And we know that 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So the other half gallon that he purchased was just 2 quarts. And that's going to give us 8 cups. So we're going to add the 4 cups plus the 8 cups to equal 12 cups. So Isaac buys 12 cups of milk. Our next example says Cheryl's fish tank is 2 yards long by 24 inches wide by 3 feet high. What is the volume of Cheryl's tank in cubic inches? So let me think of what I know. I know that 1 yard is 3 feet, and that's the same thing as 36 inches. I know 1 foot is 12 inches. I also know that the formula to measure volume is going to be the length times the width times the height. Now remember, volume is like capacity. It's how much can you fit inside. So I'm going to multiply the 72 times the 24 times the 36. Now, how did I get those numbers? So first, I'm going to convert all my units into inches because that's easier for me. So my 2 yards is going to be 6 feet. So 12 inches in each foot. 12 times 6 is going to give me 72 inches. So that is going to be the length of the fish tank. Now it's 24 inches wide, so that measurement is already in inches. I don't need to change it. And then it's 3 feet high. So I'm going to take that 3 times 12 to give me 36 inches. So my volume is going to be the 72 inches times the 24 inches times 36 inches. Now I did the multiplication here on the side. I did the 72 times the 24 first, and that gave me 1,728. And then I did that 1,728 times my third measurement, which was the 36 inches, and that gave me 62,208. So the volume of Cheryl's fish tank is 62,208 cubic inches. Let's take a look at another example. A movie starts at 7:10 and ends at 9:03. How long does the movie last? Well, I know if I'm going from 7:10 until 9:10, that's 2 hours. So from 7 to 8 and then 8 to 9, that's 2 hours. So now that I've gotten to 9:10, I can count back from 9:10 to 9:03. So I'm taking off 7 minutes. So 2 hours, I want to subtract 7 minutes. So I'm going to convert my 2 hours into minutes. So 60 times 2, because there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. I multiply it by 2 to make it 2 hours. That's 120 minutes. So now I have 120 minutes. I can subtract off the 7 minutes, which leaves me with 113 minutes. So 113 minutes is 60 minutes, which is 1 hour, plus 53 more minutes. So the movie lasts 1 hour and 53 minutes, which is reasonable because when we estimated and did from 7:10 until 9:10, that was 2 hours. So 1 hour, 53 minutes is just a little bit less than that. And our last example before our guided practice, a city pool is the shape of a rectangle with a length of 25 yards and a width of 60 feet. What is the perimeter in feet? So here they're specifying which unit we need to use. We can't convert it any way we want. We have to convert to feet. So I know that 1 yard is 3 feet. The formula for perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Now I know the length is 25 yards and the width is 60 feet. So first I need to convert my yards into feet. Now when I'm going from a bigger unit like yards into a smaller unit like feet, I'm going to multiply. So if there's 3 feet in 1 yard, I'm going to take those 25 yards and multiply them by 3, and that's going to give me 75 feet. So now I can plug those numbers into my formula. My perimeter formula is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So 2 times the 75 plus 2 times the 60. So 2 times 75 is 150, and 2 times 60 is 120. 150 plus 120 is equal to 270 feet. So the perimeter of the pool is 270 feet. All right, let's jump into our guided practice, and then we'll be done with this lesson. Number 1 says, in the previous example, how could you find the perimeter by converting all the measurements to yards? So the same example that we talked about with the swimming pool, if we changed it to yards, what would our numbers look like? So I know 1 yard is 3 feet. So 60 feet divided into a group of 3 for each yard is going to be 20 yards. So again, we have the same formula, and our other measurement is already in yards, so that one doesn't need converting. So 2 times the length, which is 2 times the 25, plus 2 times the width, which we just found out is 2 times 20, is going to equal 50 plus 40, which equals 90 yards. Now we know this is correct because 90 times 3 is going to give us 270. So we know that we can move between these two. Our answer is correct. Number 2, write a real-world multi-step problem that involves measurement. So I made up one. You guys can make up your own. I said a table measures 36 inches by 5 feet. What is the perimeter? So I want to change my units into inches. So 5 feet times 12. So each foot is, remember, 12 inches. So 5 feet times 12 is going to be my 5-foot measurement in inches, which equals 60. And I know that the width is already 36 inches. So 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So we're going to do 2 times the 36 plus 2 times the 60. 2 times 36 is 72. 2 times 60 is 120. So the perimeter of my table is 192 inches. Number 3 says Stacia needs enough ribbon to wrap around the length and height of a box. If the length is 2 feet and the height is 4 inches, how much ribbon does she need? Now, I need to convert to using the same unit so that I can complete this question easily. So I'm going to move to inches. So 2 feet times 12 will give me 24 inches. And the other measurement is already 4 inches. Now, I'm basically finding the perimeter around this section of the box. So I'm going to use my perimeter formula. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So 24 times 2 plus 4 times 2. 24 times 2 is 48. 4 times 2 is 8. So that's going to equal 56 inches of ribbon that are needed. And the last question says, if ribbon is sold in whole number yards and costs $1.50 per yard, how much will it cost Stacia to buy the ribbon? So we know there's 56 inches. We need to convert those 56 inches into yards because they sell them by the yard. So 56 inches is going to be 36 inches, which is 1 yard, plus 20 extra inches, or 1 yard and 20 inches. But now remember, the question specifically said they only sell it in whole number yards. So if she were to get just 1 yard, she wouldn't have enough. So she needs to buy 2 yards of ribbon to have enough, and she'll have some left over, which is fine. So now we can take those 2 yards and multiply them by $1.50 for each yard. And we know that it will cost her $3 to buy the ribbon to put around this box. That's our last question for this lesson. If you have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.